Next up, Cleveland Browns at the Buffalo Bills. Buffalo decided that they wanted to put their game in Detroit because there was going to be snow on Sunday. To me, that shows a sign of they're nervous to play in bad weather. And I before that even came out, I was thinking in my head the Bills are going to want to move or at the very least reschedule. I've seen them play in bad weather. They're not the greatest. Josh Allen does not play good in bad weather. They're a pass first offense, and Cleveland is the complete opposite. Any weather game, I'll take Cleveland over a lot of teams. Like Tennessee and Cleveland are the two like the best teams in weather. I think. Um, Cleveland played Buffalo really close. Buffalo isn't crushing teams anymore. They only crush the really weak teams like they did with the Rams. Um, I like Cleveland. I know that Deshaun Watson's coming back this weekend, but they're a really well rounded team, and even with Brisset in there, they're kind of a threat. Uh, Josh Allen is a great quarterback, but those clutch moments in weather, any kind of adversity, he gets frantic. He doesn't play like himself. Only when the situation is perfect is when Josh Allen goes off. And his ceiling is probably higher than anybody, or at the very least high as Patrick Mahomes. It's the fact, who is Josh Allen? Is he the guy that we see throwing for 370 rushing, three or four total touchdowns? Or is he the guy that gets like 230, 240, two touchdowns and a pick or two? Which one is he? Because he does both of those things equally as often. I think Josh Allen is, I'm going to get a lot of hate for this, but is a tiny bit overrated. Um, it's just the adversity thing. When he hits adversity, he doesn't play the same. And Stephon Diggs really turned that. If it wasn't for Stephon Diggs, who knows where Josh Allen would be right now? Look at the leap Josh Allen took when Stephon Diggs went there. He's a difference maker for sure. Their defense is playing really great. I love their defense. They're overall probably a top five defense because they're so solid against the pass and they're solid against the run. But I don't think the Bills are gonna make the Super Bowl or maybe even not the AFC Championship. I think a couple teams could beat them. I think the Chiefs could beat them in the playoffs. I think the Ravens could beat them in the playoffs. I think Miami could beat them in the playoffs. I just don't see it this year. I know they had Super Bowl expectations, blah blah blah. It ain't happening. And they're for a while they're gonna be a team that shows a lot of promise and has a lot of upside, so everyone buys in real hard because they look at their best games. The people that like that, obviously, the people that aren't Buffalo fans that think that they are a Super Bowl favorite are the people that look at their upside. You got to take both things into account. When the Chiefs look bad, okay, do they lose in big games or do they lose like kind of trap games? Chiefs kind of lose trap games. Besides, obviously, to the Bills, I'll give Bills their credit for beating the Chiefs for sure. But the Chiefs lost to the Colts. That was a trap game to me. Uh, and even when the Chiefs are facing adversity, like when they're down, or like they did against the Raiders, they were down 20-0 or 20-3 or something at the half. I, in my heart, didn't have 1 ounce of worry because I knew they were going to come back. The Bills, when they're down or when they're playing shaky, I get nervous. I get nervous that they're going to lose. So we'll see what happens. But man, I think Miami's going to win that division, and Another person that could be a threat to the Bills is the Patriots within the division. They could get hot. They have a great backfield, and if Mac Jones turns it on, look out, because I just think Buffalo's like a 10 or 11 win team that will lose when things get tough. Period.